Aguirre, BS Crime 3A. Crimes under the different titles. Title 1, Crimes Against National Security and the Law of Nations. Title 2, Crimes Against the Fundamental Laws of the State. Title 3, Crimes Against Public Order. Title 4, Crimes against Public Interest. Title 5, Crimes Relative of Opinion of Others of Weighted Drugs. Title 6, Crimes Against the Public Morals. Title 7, Crimes committed by Public Officers. Title 8, Crimes Against Persons. Title 9, Crimes Against Personal Liberty of Security. Title 10, Crimes Against Property. Title 11, Crimes Against Chastity. Title 12, Crimes Against the Civil Status of Persons. Title 14, 13, Crimes Against Honor. Title 14, Offenses. Title 15, Final Provisions. Title 1, Crimes Against National Security and the Law of Nations. Ito yung sa crimes na isailalim na ito. Title na ito, Article 114, Treason. Article 115, Professorship of Proposal of Commit Treason. Article 116, Misprecision of Treason. Article 117, Espionage. Article 17, 18, Inciting to war and giving motives for reprisals. Article 119, Violation of Neutrality. Article 120, Correspondence by Hostile Country. Article 121, Flight to Enemy Country. Article 122, Piracy in General and Monity on the High Seas. Article 123, Qualified Piracy. Article 114, the treason in any person who, owing allegiance to the United States or the government of the Philippines Island, not being a foreigner, leaves the war against the aid of comfort with the Philippine Island and elsewhere should be punished by reclusion temporal and to death and shall be paid in fine to the exceed to 20,000 pesos. No person shall be convicted to treason unless the testimony of two witnesses at least the same overt act and confession of a cause in open court. Likewise, alien residing of Philippine Island who commits acts to treason or define the paragraph 1 of the article should be punished by prison, mayor of death, and should be paid fine not as assigned to 20,000 pesos cash as amended of EEO number 44 May 31, 1945. Elements of treason that offender is a Philippine citizens or a alien residing in the Philippines. That there is a war of which the Philippines is involved, that the offender either a lives war against the government or and hearts of enemies giving the aid of comfort. Unang element ay ang offender o may sala ay pwedeng mamamayang Pilipino o isang dayon ay maninirahan dito sa Pilipinas. Pangalawang element, dapat may gera na ang Pilipinas ay isa sa mga kasali sa gera na yan. Pangatlong element, ang offender o may sala ay nagkumpol-kumpol o nagtipon-tipon para makipaggera sa gobyerno ng Pilipinas o hindi kaya sa ginawa kumam, niya kumampi sa kalaban o pamagitan ng pagbigay ng ayuda o kaginawaan. Treason defined. Treason is a breach of allegiance to government committed by a person who wants allegiance in the 63 CG 814. And treason and pagtataksil sa isang pagsira o katapatan sa gobyerno ay ginawa ng isang tao na may katungkulan maging tapat sa kanyang gobyerno. Allegiance defined. By the term allegiance is the mean of the obligation of friendly obedience which the individuals are owe to government under which the live or the their subordinates in return for the protection of President 15 and Jor 797. Allegiance o kapatan ng obligasyon na paging patapat at masunurin sa pagkakautang at bawat isa sa kanyang gobyerno ay nasa ilalim nito ay isang pinaprotektahan. Treason cannot be committed by in time of peace. Ang ibig sabihin nito ay kahit na ginawa ng isang Pilipino o dayuhan ang naninirahan dito sa Pilipinas ay pagtataksil o ng gobyerno ay hindi ito matatawagan na treason kung walang namang gera o digmaan sa ibang bansa sa Pilipinas ay kasali. Two way of moves of committing treason by laying, leaving war agents of government by adhering to the enemies of Philippines, giving them aid of comfort. Meaning of lives war, lives being war require the concurrence of two things that were be a actual assembling of men and two for the purpose of executing of reasonable design of by force. By the war of must be directed against the government requirements of the second way of mode of committing treason number one, adherence of and two, giving aid to comfort to the enemy must conquer together and adherence alone without giving aid and comfort the enemy comfort to the enemy is not sufficient to constitutions, treasons, conversions, and aid and comfort alone without adherence is not treason. Treason by Filipino citizens can be committed outside of the Philippines. Treason by a alien must to be committed in the Philippines. Ways to proving treason. A person may be convicted by treason on any of the following evidence only. Testimony and two witness at least to the same covert action of conviction of the accused of open court. Thank you, sir.